everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very important topic to discuss, and that is Instagram. I wanted to share how I edit my Instagram pictures. I always get questions, and editing pictures is one of my favorite things. I love taking pictures, but I think it's just as important to make sure that you have a cohesive aesthetic and that you're using the correct filters and presets. So we're gonna sit down and talk to you guys all about that, and especially during quarantine, I think it'd be a fun time to kind of like redo your grid if you want a different vibe or anything like that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start off with talking to you guys how I edit both my Insta stories and then also how I edited my Instagram pictures before I had presets. So if you don't have presets and you have Vsco, then this is how I edit most of my Instagram pictures. Starting off with Instagram, I will usually take most of my pictures on the camera that I'm filming with right now, which is a Canon EOS 80D, and then I have a Sigma lens. I will have both in the description box, and so I film on this for more of my sit-down videos if I'm not vlogging, and then I also take a lot of pictures off of it because I love really nice professional looking pictures. And then from there, I will import all of the pictures onto my phone. Before I had presets, I'm going to show you how I would edit my Instagram pictures. So this is just using Vsco, and I downloaded the aesthetic series, and I'm pretty sure it's free on Vsco, so this isn't something you have to pay for. So I'm going to put this on the screen, what I'm doing, so you can kind of get a visual of how to go about this. So I downloaded the aesthetic series. I start off with taking the picture, pulling up the exposure, then I will click on C1, and then I will take C1 and do it about in the middle. So I pull it halfway down, and then I will pull up the saturation and pull up the contrast. Then I will save that picture and I will re-import it back into Vsco, and then I will put the A5 filter on top of that, and I will pull A5 down into the middle. So now we have the aesthetic series and the really bright and kind of white look together, and that is usually the combination I use when I go and edit my Insta stories, because I will take the picture, edit the picture on Vsco, and then I'll upload that onto the Insta story, and then I will usually use Oslo and put that on top of it. So just to clarify, this is how I edit the Insta stories, but this is also how I would edit my Instagram pictures before I had my presets. So they can work with both. If you don't have presets and what I'm about to talk about, then I would edit both your Insta stories and your Instagram pictures in this way. And then that way your whole entire grid will look very white and bright, and it will have a lot of color. However, the new way in which I edit my Instagram pictures is with presets, and this is something that you've probably seen on Instagram. Bloggers, just people in general, have this same type of look with all of their pictures, and I do have a set of presets that I have altered to make sure that I like, and I use them for all of my Instagram pictures. To me, this takes it to another level, and my pictures look a lot more professional than if I'm just doing them on Vsco. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically I have presets on Adobe Lightroom, and I edit all my Instagram pictures on my iPad because I personally like having a bigger screen, and it's really nice because I can use my stylus to kind of pull the saturation down and alter everything and just edit a lot better. So I will import the camera, and everything will be on the screen right there, but visually I just want to make sure I'm not leaving anything out. So I will click on the picture that I want, and then I will go over to my presets. So I have 5 different presets, but I only use one of the presets for all of the pictures, so they're the same. So I will click on the preset, which I'm doing right now. From there, I will pull down the temperature to 0. Then I will pull down the tint, or pull up the tint to 0. I will pull down the vibrance to 0 as well, and then pull up the saturation to 0. And then from there, I will click the light, and then I will go to exposure, and I will pull the exposure down just to 0. We usually change it after that, but for right now we're just going to do 0. I will go down to details, and I will pull down the sharpening, and then I will go to effects and pull down the grain, because these presets kind of start off with it looking really grainy and it has a lot of color. It's a little too saturated for me. If you like that, you can totally add the grain, but for me, like I said, I like a very clean cut professional look, so I don't use grain. Then from there, I will kind of just adjust the picture, because all pictures are different and you're pulling in different colors and light depending on what picture you have. So in this case, I will pull up the exposure just a little bit more. I'm going to pull up the saturation just a little bit more, and then I kind of just play around with it. And then from there, you just save it, and I just airdrop it back to my phone. And then oftentimes I will go into Instagram right before I'm about to post a picture, and I'll just pull up the exposure a little bit more and the saturation a little bit more within the Instagram app. So that was the entire video. This was kind of quick and something that I just wanted to check in on. I hope that this explained a little bit more, and definitely if you don't want to spend money on presets, which I totally understand, Vsco is the way to go, and if you just get a routine, then all of your pictures will look the same. That is the key for this whole thing, is you just need to stick with whatever whatever theme you're going, just stick with it and your Instagram will be amazing. Alright everyone, so that's all I have for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you want to see how I bring these pictures to life. And until next time, I will see you all in my next video. Bye everyone!